Question number 4, Sarah Dowie.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Tertiary Education, Skills and Employment. What recent reports has he received on the benefits to students of tertiary education?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, today the Ministry of Education released a series of fact sheets which show the earnings and employability for graduates after study across a range of disciplines. This is based on actual tax return data, and the release shows those with a bachelor's degree earn on average around 40% more than the national median earnings after 5 years in the workforce, while those with postgraduate qualifications earn even more. Also shows the benefits of study continue to increase over time. The data complements the release by Universities New Zealand last month that showed a typical graduate earning around $1.6 million more over the working life than a non-graduate. Overall, the release provides useful information for students considering their future study options.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Sarah Dowie.
Which qualifications provided the highest earnings after study?
The Honourable Stephen
Well, Mr
Joyce.
Speaker, the highest earning qualifications include the health-related fields, plus engineering and information technology, and also they demonstrate the value of students studying STEM subjects. In particular, after 5 years, those with a bachelor's degree in medical studies earn on average 201% more than the national median earnings. Those with a bachelor in banking, finance or law earn around 65% more, and sales and marketing was 47% above average. Those with qualifications at honours, postgraduate, cert and diploma level have even higher premiums. Graduates with a qualification accountancy had earnings 100% above the national media earnings, while graduates in civil engineering had earnings 91% higher and mechanical and industrial engineering 83% higher. There were a few subjects where earnings were lower than the median wage. Those subject choices including the performing arts, where graduates earned on average 20% less than the median wage, and visual arts and crafts, which was 5% less.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Sarah Dowie.
Has he seen any reports on approaches that may impact the benefits to students from tertiary study?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Yes, Mr Speaker. I've seen a number of approaches promoted by a number of international commentators of more of the left persuasion in the last week or two that would see all graduates, no matter how much they get paid, being paid an additional 11 or 22 Ks or thereabouts by the government, where they earn even 100% more than the median income, for example. They would then be taxed, though, by as much as 50 to 80% of their actual income. These two changes could only have the effect of discouraging people from training in occupations that our country needs. Jobs like engineering, scientists and software developers, which are very important for New Zealand's future, would be discouraged on such an approach.
Order. Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Mr Speaker, if the National Government have finally woken up to the value of post-school education and no longer think it is worthless, as he tried to claim earlier in the year, what is he going to do to reverse the forecast 10,000 student loss that's going to happen over the next 3 years?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, firstly, Mr Speaker, the member is incorrect and is guilty of reading his Twitter backwards, which is quite hard to do because it's quite short. But the worst opposition MP in 50 years, took him a while to catch up with that one, Mr Speaker. But thank you for arriving, Dr Clark. Mr Speaker, the important thing is actually this government is promoting tertiary education. It's promoting STEM subjects. It has initiatives like the Curious Minds and Future and Tech to encourage them. And Mr Speaker, for Mr Hipkins' benefit, if there is a projected decline in students, and there is, it's because of a demographic bubble of 18 years ago that has moved past. And if Mr Hipkins would like to go back and encourage his mum's friends to have more kids, then he should.
Order. I think the question's had the answer that it deserves. Question number 5.